They're good. Hi, this is Lisa Klein again, and it's my pleasure to be here today with my good friend Jeneen Piccuirro.
Very good.
Well, and I've and Jeneen is a soul artist, is how I'm going to explain her to you and describe her. I've known Jeneen, man, when was that we had classes
Oh,
together?
wow.
Early 2000s. I knew you from belly dancing classes.
Yes. Yep.
A long
Yes.
time ago.
Early 2000s or 2000. That's
Yeah,
a long time, 20 years.
it was a long time ago. And and I just reconnected with you about a year ago when you were doing that soul bath, the sound bath with
Yes.
my friend before she left to move to Oregon, which was so interesting. And I just was really impressed by you and what you did. And I thought that was just such a wonderful evening with the sound bath and the whole thing, and the yoga was so relaxing. And now with everything going on, you've been a great source of relaxation for me. I was telling you before we started that I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning again, and
Yikes.
I'm on Facebook as one does at 4 in the morning, and I see a replay that I could play of your sound bath event that you had in the morning, and it was so relaxing. It was wonderful. So I'd like to talk to you today about some of the events that you're doing and ways that we can all relax, and what does a sound bath do, like all the meditation things that you're doing. If you can sum all that up in 15 minutes,
Yeah,
great.
sure. I can, actually.
Excellent.
And, thank you, Lisa. And it was really great to hear that feedback, that you had that experience, because one of the things I always say, like for all the spiritual and soul work that I do, I feel like there's a really practical element to all of this work as well, like just nuts and bolts. And the singular most practical thing is that this work helps you sleep better at night, period. And for me, like, it always comes back to that, right? We know how important our sleep is and how important quality rest is to every system in our body. So if I can offer something that kind of assists that process, I feel like that's a huge piece.
It's huge.
Yeah, it is. It
Huge
is.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I teach my meditation and sound classes in DC and in the area, I always I always end every class saying, I hope you received exactly what you needed from this practice, and I hope you sleep really well tonight. And that is kind of what it's about. And really, what I'm finding, and of course now more than ever, right, with our stressed out nervous systems and this feeling of being bombarded, literally. How strange. We're isolated, but we're bombarded.
It is a
So weird.
paradox, and yet it is happening.
Right.
It's true. Yeah.
It's so strange.
Mhm.
And in that place of being bombarded, right, the sound in particular has a way of literally just kind of shaking things up in order so that they can disperse. When I say so, they, meaning the debris, the tension, the anxiety. And I'm really careful. My work is not about naming or excavating what those things are and where they came from. Like, I reserve that for another set of professionals who are also deeply needed right now. But my work is like, we don't need to name it right now. We just need it to be gone, at least long enough for you to sleep, right?
I love that.
Yeah, so let's just like move it away. And guess what? Let's move it away without you needing to do anything. How's that sound?
I like that. That's why I got nothing right now. I'm just kidding.
Right.
It's okay. So this is interesting because I never thought of it that way, that what the sound is doing is that it's actually helping to clear things out of your body in a
Right.
way, which makes
Right.
sense, but I had never thought about it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to describe the sound, and I try to gravitate towards specific tools that I feel like address this very efficiently. The sound comes in or has a playfulness about it with your system, with your vibration, literally, if you want to think about it that way, right? It doesn't know who you are. It doesn't need to know who you are. It doesn't know you need to know your story. It doesn't need to know, like, why is this stuck in her shoulder, or why, can't you turn this part of her brain off? It just is like, well, we're just going to shake out whatever doesn't belong there. It wants the system to return to harmony. And that is actually very valuable because there's no interference. If you can allow that sound in, right, and that process in, it's going to do its work without there having to be a big back and forth in that work piece. Right. So the trick to that is then when you're guiding as the guide is to just get people as comfortable as they possibly can be. Because the more physically comfortable you are, the more you feel supported, literally, the more you feel held, literally, the more on some level you're going to be willing to just kind of release a little bit, and then the sound can do its work.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you tell people to get comfortable before they start.
Exactly. And I have all sorts of things, you know, deliciously comfortable, comfort is queen, really comfortable. Like I can't say it enough. And I really mean it. Like we rarely actually really let ourselves get super comfortable. You know, we're like, oh, that's good enough. No. Get more comfortable than that.
It's funny, I'm having like a reflexogenic Pavlovian response to your voice because like I'm getting really relaxed now, even though we're not actually doing a sound bath right now. Voice, Jeneen. It's relaxing.
That's right. Yeah, right. It's probably, I think I've absorbed all the vibrations by now. Maybe I'm just one sound tool.
So what we're talking about is something that you do that I've gone to a live event, which was called a sound bath, where you have bowls and gongs and different instruments that you play, and it's very relaxing. But you're also doing this on Facebook Live.
Yes.
You're also doing this, and we can put this information in the description when we're done. I'll get all that information from you. So because nobody's leaving their house right now, so it's on Facebook Live, and it's also through a yoga. Is that your yoga studio, or is it a different yoga studio? Or
I work through a couple of different studios. So a meditation studio in DC and a yoga studio out here in Virginia. Yeah.
And the meditation, that's Take 5, right?
Actually, right now I'm doing stuff mostly through Recharge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And they streaming content right now?
Yes, they are. Yeah. So I have a Thursday night sound bath with them every Thursday at 6 o'clock live.
All right. I'm going to make a note of that.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. And again, in my experience of being part of that, it's just, you get so very, very relaxed.
Right.
As the sound kind of moves through you. And you do like, not really guided meditation, but it's more like helping people to calm and let things move through them, which I think is so valuable right now for obviously 8 million reasons. A lot. And then and then through the yoga studio also, are you also doing yoga classes or the sound bath?
No, I'm doing mostly sound bath. I do a monthly full moon gong bath, and which we've shifted to live. I'll talk about that in a second. It's been super interesting to make this shift. And then yeah, I know, right? And then I do seasonal events. So actually I've got a spring cleaning ceremony ritual live happening. It's in about a week and a half there. Yeah. And, you know, Lisa, it's been so fascinating because I kind of dove right in as soon as everything happened and everything kind of shut down and we were asked to stay at home. I just instantly shifted everything over to Facebook Live. Now, if anyone knew me, there's not a person that I know that I would have least expected to do that. Because I am completely not very technologically driven, shall we say.
Hello, I hear you on that. You have no idea the help I've needed for this.
Right.
No idea the learning curve that I'm on here.
Learning curve, huge. Yeah.
Yep.
But my work has always been motivated by a desire to serve. And so it's actually never been motivated by business or any of that stuff. And so as soon as this happened, it was like every switch on me just went on, like boom, 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 boom. Get out there and serve and do whatever you have to. So I just dove into this platform, not really knowing at all, A, how I would manage it, and B, how any of what I do, which I consider subtle energy work, would translate. And I've been amazed at how well it does translate. And I think the pieces that are important to me there even if it gets sort of real and raw, like my dog walks through the room or something, or you hear one of my kids in the background, that it has to be live. There's something about that, right? So I'm not going to a studio and pre-recording. It would sound amazing if I did, but for this experience, for right now, that live connection, as imperfect as it may be, right, with the lighting and the this and the that, necessary. Like, and I have at least really been able to feel people through that live connection, and they have expressed the same to me. They've been amazed. They're like, wow, I really felt like I was in the room with you.
I did I've done a couple of them live with you,
Mm,
and it was magnificent. I
mm.
mean, really impactful and touching. And yeah, I think this is a whole new way of us to connect, which is through, this insane technology situation.
Right.
Kind of wild. Kind of
Yeah,
wild.
and I, for one, am right now feeling tremendously grateful for social media and the technology, which I was one of the embarrassingly, critics of it all along for the last 20 years. And now I'm like, oh, oops, I'm
Yeah,
so grateful it's here.
seriously. Tell me, because you also do the belly dance class as well.
Right.
Is that, which I keep meaning to do. That looks really fun. Do you teach belly dancing at the yoga studio where you work?
I teach belly dancing at a movement-based studio here in Alexandria called Local Motion Project.
Got it.
Yes, and then I've done a few things just on my page, Facebook Live. I'm fortunate enough to have my teenage daughter, who's a dancer, at home with me. So it's very lovely. She is now my class.
I remember when she was born. Haiku, yeah?
Yes.
I remember. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's how long we've known each other.
That's right. She's 15 now. But there you go. I think I performed in my last show with that troupe when I was pregnant with her. So yeah, so that's been really, really fun too. And I think that it always seems to others, I think, that I do so many different things. I teach the yoga and the belly dance and qigong, and I'm a painter and sound healer, and I do energy work, et cetera, et cetera. But you said, can you summarize everything? To me, it's always about, there's really only about one thing. It's about meditation. It's about coming into this space of being with yourself without judgment, without fear, without expectation. To me, that's like the meditation sweet spot, right? Whether it's dancing, like how can I guide people to come to that place so that that's where they're dancing from, right? Whether it's yoga, how can we come into our movement from that place of non-judgment, right? How can I come into that place when I'm lying down? Because that's what trips us up when we try to sleep at night, right?
Right.
All the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. If you can find a way to shift into that place, that kind of quiet, still center, where it's totally neutral there. It's right, that field, that beautiful field of neutrality. There's really, truly no judgment. Then all of a sudden, boom.
I need to find my beautiful field of neutrality.
We can do that.
I love.
We can do that. That's what I do. I help people find it.
Excellent. I love that phrase. I love it. I love it, Jeneen. Well, again, I've been so inspired by you, and I feel like this is such an important time for people to have these resources. And I think generally people know that it's important to relax and meditate, but now it's like critical to do that.
It's essential.
Yeah. And what kind of feedback are you getting from some of your participants? I know I'm sure you're getting good feedback that it's helping them. And
yes. And the exciting thing about the exciting surprise about doing this online now is that I'm sort of making connections across the globe. People are writing me or finding me, and they're like, I just stumbled upon your video, and then they're having these incredible experiences and sharing them with me. I'm going to have to collect them and write a book or something. And it's amazing.
That.
And like I said, Lisa, they feel really genuine to me, like real genuine connections that this person had, just sort of stumbling upon one of my live videos. And I smile a lot. I smile all the time, and it's that you know, I want to help people find that joy inside them, because I know it's there. I know it's there. I laugh a lot when I'm teaching. You know, I'm not. If you see any photo of me like teaching meditation or anything, you know, you're never. I can't even not smile right now. Okay, I can't do it.
I think that's one thing that I love about you is that your everything is very joyful and
Yeah.
very positive, and we really need that right now. And it's you have such a resonant voice in a good way. Like all of that joy and that positivity kind of comes through you when you talk.
Mm.
And I think it from being a participant, it's like a lifeline right now. You know, it's like we're desperate for that.
Right.
We're desperate for it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
this is wonderful.
Yay.
Is
And
there
when I do my belly dance, I usually call it, I usually put that word joy in there, like joyful belly dance, or the retreats that I was leading, which had to pause momentarily. We'll get back to them. That I was calling dance your joy, right? It's like, it's bring that through your body, move it, play with it. You know about that too.
I do. It's yeah, I love it. I love this whole thing. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we sign off?
Well, actually, I happen to have a bowl right here.
What are the chances?
What are the chances?
You want to give us a little?
What else I have here? I thought I would just do a little closing meditation.
Oh my God, I would be honored.
Yeah, is that okay? Don't fall asleep because you still have to end the video.
I have been up since 4. Yes.
I just give you a tiny little sample. I'll keep it short. So if you want to get comfortable, Lisa.
I'd be asleep if I got. I'm just gonna say
not too comfortable, but comfortable enough for right now. As I'm saying, wherever you are. So obviously, if you're driving in a car, that's going to be a different kind of comfort, right, than if you're lying in bed. So you get
your eyes open.
That's right. Keep your eyes open. You get to judge. You get to choose, I should say. And just take a moment, whether your eyes are open or closed. If your eyes are open and you are able to, you can soften your gaze. Just soften the gaze. Let the eyelids be just a little heavier, yeah. So that your focus isn't so tight, right? And even just from that place of your eyes, let's just start there right now. As you feel the muscles around your eyes, just relax a little. And then just begin to breathe in this sound. Whatever that means to you. So that in this moment, perhaps your thoughts and your tension and any places of holding, just begin to soften or shimmy a little. If you feel like you want to move a little bit with that, you can. Listen to the quality of this sound. It's kind of soft around the edges, right? Because I'm using this big, soft mallet. And let the quality of your breath start to match that softness. And then let the quality of your being just start to match that softness, softening around the edges just a little. And then watch and observe your thoughts softening. And then just take a deep breath in here into all that space that the softening reveals. See if you can breathe in to that extra space that was just created. And Drink in the breath and open the mouth and just let it sigh or yawn away or blow it away. And as the silence returns, just take a moment here to notice the quality of your breath, to notice any sensations in the body, to notice your thoughts, all of this without judgment, without any need for analysis, and without expectation. And breathe into this place of acceptance, of noticing, of acknowledgement of you. This sacred, precious moment, the only one of its kind, never to be repeated. And take a deep breath in. And on a big open-mouthed exhale, just sound it away.
You're so good, Jeneen. You're so good.
I love it. Yeah, it doesn't take long. That's the point. Just a few minutes, right? It's like, all right, I'm ready for the rest of the day now.
Yeah, that was quite nice. Very nice. Thank you so much, Jeneen. I really appreciate
you.
I'm so happy to know you. I'm so happy that we reconnected.
Me too.
And, I can't wait to see you and more of your things. And then the other thing is I keep seeing your events. And before all this happened, I'm so busy that I could not, I mean, I was traveling or, you know, and now I'm like, oh, I can do that. I'm home.
Yay.
I could do that.
Yay to that.
Yeah. So this is one of the major, again, unintended consequences of this whole situation is connecting with these things that are just so valuable.
Yeah, exactly. More of that for all of us.
Yes, I love it. Thank you again, and I'll be getting with you to find out resources. And we'll put them on the details page.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Wow.
See you soon. Bye, hon.
Bye.